Insert Coin Theater.
Órale, güey. Opa, opa.
What?
Shiggity swell.
George!
Tim.
People out there!
Things.
We are Insert Coin Theater. George is having trouble with his phone.
Just distract him.
Look over here! we are coming at you live on Twitch. Here it is approximately 6:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, I think right now, actually. From sunny Sarasota, Florida. And for those of you who don't know, my name is Tim.
And I am George.
Oh, you said your name for once.
Yay!
Yay! And today's episode, we are going to be doing a lot of talking about E3. We talked about it last week, what our anticipation was for it, what we were kind of looking at in terms of trying to get our... Okay. That works.
Pretty good?
It's all of them. It's so bright, dude.
You want to turn down the brightness?
Yeah, a little bit. So, we're going to be... we're dead in the middle of it. I mean, I think today is like day 1 or day 0 or something.
It's day Z.
Is it day Z? Wait, what? So, today's episode is going to be dedicated to our impressions thus far of E3 2015. We've seen the Bethesda conference. We've seen the Microsoft conference. And we've seen, well... as much as we could of the EA conference, we were having some technical difficulties with our video. I couldn't even live tweet it, but we've seen those three, and we're going to be kind of breaking down what we felt about those and kind of our hype excitement levels. So we're not done with E3. Next week is going to be our big grand episode. We're going to do approximately 2 hours. We're going to see if we're going to start at 6 or if we're going to start at 6:30 and go until 8:30. We're going to go as long as we can while we discuss the beauty that is what E3 has been thus far.
Expo.
I'm really stoked, man.
Dude, it has been awesome so far.
It's been nuts.
It's been freaking ridiculous.
So Bethesda did their first ever
press conference.
Oh, and before we begin, we're doing a hard stop at 8 o'clock. So if you have any questions that are outstanding or anything like that, we apologize in advance if we don't get to them. We are the Sony conference
coming, guys.
The Sony conference is tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern time, and I have to get George home. It takes about 40 minutes to get him home and for me to get back, and I don't want to miss it. And this is really big for us because we saw the Microsoft one, and they really stepped up their game this year.
They were for the gamers hard this time.
And next year is, the next conference, the Sony one, they have a lot to live up to.
Yes, they do.
And we'll delve into that here in a few minutes. We're going to start, though, with the Bethesda one, which was last night at, what was it, at 9:30 our time? Something like that, 9:30 Eastern.
Something like that.
And it ran until about midnight. It was pretty long, surprisingly. And we got to see some really crazy stuff. The headliner...
Let me just start off by saying one of the best press conferences I've seen in a long time.
Oh, it was incredible, and it had its low points. It had a really low point. I'll go into that as well. But they came out right out of the gate with
just
Doom.
From Jump Street.
Doom
was
oh my gosh, dude! I've been waiting for a Doom game like that for a while.
Yes,
and seeing the gore and the explosions
the speed,
and the
man.
speed,
back to the
old school hyper speed with the new aesthetic and the new technology behind it with the melee attacks and stuff was sick.
Awesome.
You ripping arms off and beating them. Oh my gosh!
He put his hand.
Did you see the chainsaw? He was ripping people in bits, and it was amazing,
nonstop.
Oh, if you did not see that gameplay, you have to see it. I mean, if you are a fan of Doom
in any way, shape, or form,
you have
need to be on it.
You must. Because it was outstanding,
stunning.
It was so cool, and it looked like it might have been gameplay, but it had the HUD and everything, but I don't know how much of that was a render. It seemed a little too
slower.
smooth.
A little too.
Everything
was too aiming perfectly.
Like because when you're going and you're aiming,
You're
everything's
spinning,
like whipping around and all that. And but I mean, they could have very well just taken their time because they were trying to make it look really nice and show off all the beauty. I don't know, but
either way,
it looked incredible, and Doom was really good. So Doom was a definite big one with SnapMap, which is their level creation tool and sharing tool, which was cool. So you can create your own game types and all sorts of crazy stuff. And then they showed like they went to hell and showed like that.
Little,
it's funny because my wife Reki was like, "That looks like the Fade from Dragon Age Inquisition," and she showed me pictures. It looks identical.
Does it?
Yeah, like visually, it was weird, but there's no way they could have known because they've probably been working on this for a long time. So it's like it must just be one of those
coincidence.
One of those weird coincidences. So it was interesting. And then they at the very end they showed the BFG. And they didn't show the effect, but I wanted to see it so bad.
You knew. Yeah, it was just... I'm glad they went back to their roots of what really made Doom what it was and what really brought people in. Because like they were saying, they even said it in their press conference, that Doom 3 was a lot slower and it was more corridory. And
well, Doom 3 was trying to tell more of a story, I think, than it should have.
To see it going back to how it was just... chaos almost, just
definitely
madness and all these crazy guns, and then that
tons of guns,
man.
Oh,
the
what was it?
though.
The super shotgun, I think they called it.
It was
ridiculous.
And I love that they had the double barrel and whatever that military shotgun was.
Yep.
Both of those.
The charge
sick.
up on the military one, where it was like all of them. It was like bah, 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 bah.
Yeah, it had like that little. Because at the beginning it didn't have that.
Yeah.
And then he went and did something. I can't remember what happened.
I
And
guess
then that
I think they skipped ahead a
was,
little bit.
The little module was on the side of it,
yeah.
and like it had like 3 lights, and then when it was full, you bah bah bah, and then it would empty
just
out.
Things would get decimated. And then I think one of my favorite parts was
I wonder if there's upgrades.
In that part, the Revenant jumped on him and ripped his arm off and beat him with it.
Oh yeah,
it was brutal.
Ridiculous.
It was so good. So
I think he ripped both of his arms off, didn't he?
Yeah, I think so.
He one through it, and then
the other one, and then he started hitting him with it. So the only thing that there were 2 parts that really bothered me during this conference. Okay, number 1 was they announced Bethesda Net. Okay, you remember that they announced Bethesda Net. It would be their like sharing hub for stuff like mods and things.
Yeah.
So, is Bethesda Net going to be their own client type thing like Uplay? Like, are they going to do their own client?
No.
Since they're a publisher, most of the publishers do their own, and that concerns me a lot. I hope it's not, but that was very worrisome.
Yeah, I agree.
Second, are they going to try to control all mods? Like things like Nexus, which Nexus is like this big mod hub where everyone posts their mods and...
Well, they were saying that, whatever, people can post anything they want, so I don't know.
Right, but we don't want to
to
replace what's existing because Nexus is a really cool place because it's powered by donations. Any donations go directly to the mod makers. I mean, it's designed to be a modder's paradise.
Yeah.
So is Bethesda Net going to be their way because of the failed modding debacle with Valve? Are they going to try to allow people to charge for mods and that sort of thing? Like, how far is this going to go? And I'm curious to see what impact it'll have. There's too many unknowns to really do anything but
so
speculate.
Early to...
But I
don't feel like Bethesda would do that though. I think they just really care. They seem to care about their fans a lot.
Yeah,
and I don't think they would go as far to
I don't know. I mean, they were the ones that encouraged this paid mods business. I don't think that they care enough about the fans to really when dollar signs get involved. I don't know, man. Sometimes a lot of companies get weird when it comes to money.
We'll just have to see. But I'm gonna keep my trust in them. For now,
of course, I'm not going to write them off. I mean, again, their entire press conference was beautifully done.
Oh my god, so flawless. And I love how passionate he was too. That he was just dropped the F-bomb right there on stage. It was so awesome. I was
he's like, "This is an effing awesome game."
He's like, "This is just an awesome effing game, guys." I was like, "Nice, man, that's awesome."
It was great.
Because all the press conference people are always like, steady suit types, just talking about
this game is mighty impressive and you will enjoy
the
it.
graphical fidelity of blah blah blah.
He's just like, this game's effing awesome.
Like, this shit is awesome. It's just, I was like, yes, it is.
That's right. So okay, so
let's go through what they actually announced then.
Well, the next thing that they showed was Battlecry. You remember that? It looks like a really crappy Team Fortress 2.
Oh, looked horrible, man.
Why they
Looked
even
really
showed
bad.
that? It was they were like, we created a new game studio just to make this game, and then it looked like the animations were choppy.
Yeah, it all just and
like
then it was like the people would turn like super red, so you couldn't even like tell what they looked like or anything.
I know.
It was like red, furious swing,
and the visual style was weird. It was like trying to be cell shaded, but I don't know.
It was like
really
it was
dumb.
trying to be close to Team Fortress, but not Team Fortress. You know what I mean? It was like a little bit of that cell shadiness, but they weren't trying to just fully copy.
Yeah, because it looked like the red, the red versus blue type thing.
Yeah,
I was like, ew, no thanks.
Pass. I was like, next.
Speaking of next, after that, and I am going to write off Battle Cry. I'm going to keep an eye on it, but I don't think it's going to be any good.
I don't. Well, what happened? I remember there was like a pre-show I was watching on IGN, and they were talking about stuff, and he talked about that game and just said that it looked terrible when they had seen it before. You know, and I was just like, when it came out, I was like, this looks just as bad as you said from before.
Yep.
So it's like, they're like, we took it down to the drawing board. No, you didn't.
No.
It still sucks.
Yeah, looks like crap.
Well, yeah.
All right, so after that was Dishonored 2. It's going to be good. And you get to play as that one chick, Emily.
Yeah, or
as Corvo. Yeah. And I love the idea of giving the gamers the choice. That's awesome.
Choice is always
and
great
apparently, like, what I've heard from a lot of the journalists that I've seen on Twitter is you'll be able to, it'll be different, like slightly different for both Emily and Corvo.
Yeah, and they have different abilities, too.
And you'll be able to, like, someone was like, so now I have to beat this game 4 times? I have to do a Corvo run, an Emily run, then a Corvo no-kill, and then an Emily no-kill. It's like, yep.
Hey, if it's that good, you're going to enjoy those 4 runs,
That's
man.
right, that's right. So that looks really good. I think Dishonored 2 is going to be a pretty slick game. So I'm...
And the Emily girl reminded me a lot of Venom. Because did you see how she had like those tentacles when she would go out? You know, that was like her way to get up the ledges rather than Corvo's like blink style kind of move. So I was like,
yeah,
wow,
she did a grappling hook style.
Yeah, but it was
thing.
like swirly, like vine looking thing, and it was going
like
up. It
shadow.
wasn't like a rope, you know.
Yep.
It was pretty
Yeah,
interesting.
it was cool.
And she
Arcane
Spider-Man it too.
Arcane Studios did a good job with their announcement on that one.
Yeah,
I was like, my body is ready.
Dishonor me. Dishonor my offices.
So yeah, that was pretty good. I was pretty excited about that.
I was sad it leaked a couple days ago.
It looked very parkour-y too, like lots of cool parkour.
I'm all about the parkour in games.
And we're gonna get to that a little bit. Keep it in, George. You can do this.
Explode.
So they're also doing the Dishonored Definitive Edition for Xbox
Knew that was
One
coming.
and
Knew that was
PS4, which
coming.
is like all the DLC and stuff updated to the latest
1080,
graphics,
yeah.
1080p 60 frames. All
Are
that
you?
crap.
What do you? Are you gonna actually get that? You think, or will you just skip it? And
I already have it on PC. I have Dishonored and all the
yeah,
DLC,
but it's not
and
gonna be as.
it's already 1080p. Dude.
Yeah, but do you want to see it better graphic fidelity?
it's not gonna look better than my PC, bro.
Shut up.
I mean,
But you
maybe,
get all the DLC.
maybe their textures will be higher res or something. I don't think it's worth it. I mean, I haven't beaten it yet, and I need to restart. But I really want to play it because it was a lot of fun. What I did play,
It was, yeah.
It's on my
cool
list of
abilities
games to
and stuff.
stream. I mean, I got to beat Far Cry and I got to beat Fallout first. Those are my 2 right now, and then I'll figure out what I'm gonna play after.
Yeah.
Then Tamriel Unlimited.
I'm honestly thinking about maybe getting that.
You know, the videos they showed didn't make it look half bad. I've heard that it's very grindy and very boring, and the beta was awful. But maybe they've changed their
I feel like
ways.
grindy is not so bad if you have people to do it with.
If you have people to play with.
Grindy is terrible by yourself, but I think if you just have a couple buddies, I think just the social aspect alone will keep you.
But the problem is that then you get most of these modern games now have like dungeon finders and crap like that, which remove the social aspect entirely.
Yeah, but that's if you want to and you don't have friends.
Everybody uses the dungeon finder and ignores using groups like they're supposed to. Look at World of
you
Warcraft.
gotta be different than everybody else, man.
Look at the Old
Don't
Republic.
follow the train.
I try, but nobody else wants to do it, George.
Because you have no friends.
No, not that play games with me. God.
Thank God.
Anyways, so I was kind of mad on it. I mean, I'm willing to give it a try, but they need to do a free trial type thing. I'm not going to drop $60 or $50 on it and then never play it again.
Yeah.
I would hate to do that. So then they announced not Hearthstone, the card game.
Oh yeah.
What was it?
Fallout,
Legends,
the card game.
Elder Scrolls Legends.
Oh yeah, it was Elder Scrolls. That's
Yeah,
right,
yeah, Elder Scrolls Legends, which is looks identical to Hearthstone. They're like, look, guys, we can do a card game too.
Why does every game have a card game now?
I don't understand why.
You got Hearthstone, now this, Gwent. It's like...
Well, but Gwent is at least integrated into the game.
Yeah, but I mean, it's
this
still...
is standalone.
Why is everything a card game?
Because card games are fun.
No.
But
Nobody
here's my
wants
problem, okay?
Nobody.
Bethesda's trying so hard to mimic like Blizzard right now, and I don't know why. I mean, I understand Blizzard brings in a lot of money. Well, I mean, look, I mean, they just came out with this Legends. They have an MMO now. I mean, all this stuff. It's like, hey guys, we're not Blizzard. Look at us.
Did you hear them actually, like, I don't know if it was necessarily a diss to Blizzard, but when he was talking about I remember back when I first started at Bethesda, there wasn't even conferences. It was
oh yeah,
it was like
it was
back
video,
shack
and video games and
next
porn.
to the pornos.
And he's like, Blizzard was closer.
Yeah, Blizzard was closer to the porn.
Yeah, no, he was closer to the. They were closer to the conference because they were bigger.
Okay.
Yeah, it
was
was more of them being
closer to the dirty
but
porn.
that further confirmed my "we're not Blizzard" type thing, because it's like they're like, we wish we were Blizzard. We wish we were closer to that conference. We wish we were. And I mean, it's like, guys, come up with original IPs then. Do something unique.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, even Blizzard started doing their own MOBA after League of Legends hit it big. And it's like, guys, stop mimicking each other and make something unique.
Well,
do something original.
They want to ride that train.
Well, and that's just it. That's what this Legends thing is it's like, oh, well. Because one of the people that I follow on Twitter during this, I was live tweeting it, and I was following my own Twitter feed. And someone was like, so, Hearthstone makes a lot of money, huh? Because it's like, well, obviously they're trying to get on that money train and trying to make that cash. So,
well, and I feel like it's just a natural thing, because if those are doing good, Elder Scrolls is such a rich environment that it just makes sense in a way, because there's so much that you could do with a card game.
I just
of
feel
that.
like they're going to milk it to death.
We'll have to see how they do it.
They need to do another Elder Scrolls single player game.
That's got to be in the works. You know, that just has to be.
They're doing Tamriel Unlimited.
That's not. They are not going to just stop making Elder Scrolls games for Elder Scrolls Tamriel Unlimited. Like, are you kidding me right now? That is not gonna. If they did that, they are crapping on the fans, and they're not going to do that.
Look at Blizzard. They didn't come out with another.
It's because Blizzard is dirty bastards.
But they didn't come out with another Warcraft game. They just did World of Warcraft and expansions on that.
Well, that's because it went somewhere. You know, that was like a freaking massive.
So
thing.
if Tamriel Unlimited flops, then maybe they'll go back.
Then it's not going anywhere. No, I just don't. Their roots are in those single player games. You know what I mean? They know the fans and people talk. Yep. They know people want that and are expecting that. You know. Yeah. It's going to be there. Yeah. I can't say when, but it's 100% in the works.
I hope so.
They're just not going to, when they're pushing so hard for Tamriel Unlimited and it's just coming to console and everything, they're not going to be like, by the way, we got another game you can wait for and that's going to be amazing.
And then that would eat into their Tamriel Unlimited sales.
Yeah, it's just going to be like,
and
don't get Tamriel because the next Skyrim 7's coming.
Well, they're probably following the same thing they did with Fallout, where they're going to wait until 5 months before the game comes out before they really do an announcement.
Mm-hmm. So, which I like, honestly, more.
Let's talk about that, though.
2 years.
Yeah, let's talk about that in a minute, though, when we get to Fallout. We're almost there. So, overall, Legends looks kind of like a stinker to me. I mean,
I don't like card games, really.
I don't mind the card games. I'm just... I get tired of them, man. I get tired of this oversaturation of these markets. Like, oh, a new thing's popular. Let's everyone jump on the bandwagon and completely kill it before we get anywhere with it. It's annoying. So, okay. So after that, it was time for Fallout 4. So Todd Howard came on the stage, and I was like screaming at my TV, like, "Shut up, Todd! Play the game!" the whole time. And they showed a bunch of concept art, and it looked amazing. And then they announced that it starts before the bombs fall, and you get to see pre-war and. You get to see them drop, and
what did you think of the new character design of how you get to make your character?
Just select a part and use your thumbsticks to expand and adjust it. Dude,
pretty cool. And you could be male or female too.
Yeah, that's so good.
Looked awesome.
So apparently, freedom is their #1 goal.
And it has I can't remember how many, but tons of names so that they actually speak your name in the game.
Yeah.
which is
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, they said they have thousands of them,
Yeah.
and it's like for what you name a kid or something like that.
No, it's your own personal name.
Oh, is it your own
Yeah, that's
personal
like
name?
if you put in your name, it'll actually be able to say what your name is because there's so many different names.
That's cool.
In the list, which is awesome because they never do that.
Yeah.
In those games, you never have a name.
I wonder
You're
if you have to pick from a
You're
list
the vault
or...
guy or whatever.
I wonder if you put in a name that they don't support, it just says, Wanderer or Traveler or whatever. Something like that.
It's been so long.
So it's so good. And then
Gameplay. You got to see gameplay.
oh, we got to see gameplay. We got to see that there's
how VATS is working.
the new VATS looks sick. It looks super fast. Like instead of it like in the previous ones it almost paused the game when you went to VATS.
Yeah.
Now they actually are still moving in slow-mo, like in more of a slow-mo than they were before, which is really slick.
Yeah.
And what was cool is they selected like an arm and the head. And they shot and they like missed the head and they hit the arm and the guy just dropped his gun, which was cool. So I was like, oh, that's sweet.
So amazing.
Yeah.
And I love how interactive the new Pip-Boy is too.
Oh yeah.
How
yeah,
like because I remember in the other games it was like he would just be sitting like this or whatever poses. Now he's actually
he's actually moving
doing,
around. Vault Boy's moving
or sprinting. I thought that was a really
and
cool
the
touch.
Pip-Boy now you actually see the arm with the Pip-Boy and you can actually like
see him
move it
moving
around.
his fingers and stuff to change the
you
buttons.
like slide and move your fingers. It was really cool. The dog, you can give commands like to go fetch
and
stuff and pick things and bring them up to you, and he'll fight. And he looks like he's a pretty good scrapper.
Yeah, he was
like
tearing some people,
like
biting their
humans. He
throats
was
out.
like pulling them down on the ground and stuff. That
or
was
like
pretty
grabbing
sweet.
their arm with the gun and they can't like shoot because he's like pulling it. It was really cool.
And there's a layered armor system, so like you can
build your
own armor.
Freaking
so like you can collect pieces.
power
and
armor.
But the layered armor was that you could actually do like your shoulder and your forearm and your like all that. You could do different pieces of your body with separate armor pieces, so you could actually do really creative stuff with that.
And did you see how getting into the power armor looks?
Look, dude, what
like
did it
an
remind you
Iron
of?
Man suit.
Yeah, that's what it reminded me of.
it
You
looks
knocked the thing. Man, you're getting overexcited, bro.
This is E3, man. But it was just like the whole thing opened up and he just climbs in and it's got jetpacks and it's just
It's so
the
good.
whole scene with him just with the Gatling gun,
dude.
in VATS when that Death Claw or something it was called
the
comes
Death
out,
Claw.
and he's in VATS and it's just like shows, and you could do it in third person. And
Oh
it
yeah,
looks
third
great.
person, first person.
He's just like
so good.
Oh god, it looks so awesome. God, it looks so awesome.
And then there's a real Pip-Boy in the collector's edition.
The
They're doing the
collector's
Pip-Boy.
edition with the
I
app
already
for your
pre-ordered
phone.
2. I
You
can't.
make me
I gotta
sick.
have one for me and one for the wife. And,
But I don't. What does it fit all phones though? That's the thing.
So what? Excuse me. So what? Apparently, it's going to do is that it'll fit a huge range of phones. I'm sure it won't fit like the Galaxy Tab and all that stuff,
Yeah,
like the big
come on,
stuff,
yeah.
like the phablet type things that
Yeah.
are huge. But apparently, it comes with foam padding to support various
Whichever
sizes
one-
of phones.
okay.
So whatever phone you have, I guess it'll fit. Apparently,
Nice.
which is cool. So I'm really, really stoked about that. And
It looks really cool.
And apparently during the show, Todd Howard said it's the best effing stupid gimmick ever, which is funny. It'll have the Pip-Boy app for smartphones, so you can actually change stuff in game. Using your Pip-Boy that you got with your collector's edition, or just your smartphone. You can use your smartphone or your tablet,
so cool.
which is such a cool idea.
Yeah.
So you connect it to your Wi-Fi and it'll actually
A gimmick
communicate
that I
with it.
actually want to do.
I know. Well, wouldn't that be nice though? Instead of having to go to a pause menu and go through all that, you could just I'd
do it on your own.
I'd do it. Apparently, they're coming out with a second mobile game, Fallout Shelter.
Yeah, not coming out. It's
it's
out
out
now
on iOS only.
Yeah, exactly.
It will be on
Only
Android
iOS.
eventually, from what I understand, but it's not yet. Apparently,
Because
that was
they love
inspired by a game called
iPhones.
Progress Quest.
Two games, I think, but I can't remember what the other one is.
Progress Quest, XCOM Enemy Unknown, the base builder mode from that, like Sim Tower, stuff like that. That's why I want it so bad. I love sim games. You know how I feel about sim games.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, one of my tweets was Fallout Shelter iOS only. Lame.
Yeah.
It's pretty lame. I mean,
They were like gushing too. Over
You're alien.
how
I know
awesome
Apple. Our friends at Apple are doing. Yeah.
Exactly. When it first came out, we loved it so much, and we bought 30.
Fondle them more.
Yeah.
Oh my
God.
god. And then they went back to the game and they started talking about custom crafting.
You can build freaking
You can build settlements. Oh my gosh, that's gonna be so wicked, so wicked,
dude. Oh my god.
Yeah, you can provide food, water, and power, and settlers will show up, and you can have traders,
and
then you can build
turrets
and you can make signs and stuff, and then you can actually build Brahmin caravans that go from settlement to settlement.
Exactly. What? And then like you actually have to set up defenses because your
raiders will show up.
It's
yeah,
just like,
it's so good, dude.
Oh god.
Yeah, and what's cool is I think that sort of like modular building system they put in will enable them to have destructible environments. Think about that. Like
too.
you could blow off a door or a wall or something to get into a place.
Yeah,
that would be pretty
really cool.
slick. So yeah, and
but
then,
the simple factor that people actually come to live there is just freaking
it's amazing,
awesome, dude.
But oh man, the crafting alone, not even the building of houses, but like the crafting system for weapons. Let me see what
and
it
it
said.
Actually like the weapons will look like the things you put in there.
50 base weapons, 750 mods.
Yeah,
for those weapons.
Incredible.
That's insane. Oh, so good.
Like one of the scopes I saw in the Xbox press conference, because they were there too doing their own little thing. Did you see the scope that it was just like a metal pipe and the 2 points that you aim at were screws in the metal pipe? I was like,
that's so cool.
Awesome.
Yep, it was awesome. It was like a pipe scope or
yeah,
something like that. It's
so
really cool,
man.
And then we got to when I freaked out next on my Twitter feed was fully customized power armor.
Yes, dude.
Oh man, you can make it look like you want. Like it can look like your own thing. The only thing that they could make better with that is if they added like a paint feature where you can paint it up the way you want it. That would be slick. The ability,
it's so much more customizable.
But what's
now.
amazing is that all the mundane items in the past games, Fallout 3 and 4, can be used for crafting.
Exactly,
now.
like if you get
super
some that
glue,
have screws, it's going to be
and super glue works as an adhesive. So does duct tape, and you can use any combination of those different items. Like a toy car would yield screws, so you'd use the screws from a toy car.
What? Awesome!
How
freaking
do they think about
badass.
this crap? Oh my gosh! So yeah,
that like you said, it is amazing that so many different things. Like what they showed was like 3 categories in 4 different items that could give you this item, 4 different things that'll give you adhesive, 4 different things that'll have bolt. So it's not just you have to collect 7 cars and 3 of these. It's just if you have anything that'll have a screw or something in it, it's utilizable for making the equipment.
So it'll add a new layer of making sure you balance your inventory, which will be nice because before it was like, well, this toy car is worth 1 cap, so screw it. I'm not picking that up. It weighs like a tenth of a pound, but I'm not going to pick it up anyways because it's a waste of space.
Yeah, exactly.
That sort of thing. Well, now you're going to want to pick them up and store them at your settlement.
So you can
use them to build new weapons and new mods and stuff. Yeah. And then the combat looked so slick.
Yes, it did. God.
Oh yeah.
And it actually looked great in third person because usually in Fallout 3 looked terrible. Like they moved really weird.
It's funny. They still do move a little crappy.
It's better though.
It's much
It is
better.
a lot better than what it is.
It's on par with Skyrim's animation, which is much better. But
when they zoomed out in Fallout 3, it was just like
you looked like
their
you were
hips
a
would,
gimp.
Spin. Yeah, it was just really weird. It didn't look good at all.
The upper part, your torso would be completely still.
Yeah,
but your lower part would move if you moved left or right.
Yeah, it was really strange.
It was weird. It was so not natural.
So I never played in third person, but this seems like I might actually even prefer being in third person, just because the whole third person with the power armor looked stellar.
Oh yeah,
like
it
really
looked
good. So cool.
Well,
like seeing them jumping.
Well, Fallout 4 is coming out November 10th
this year, man.
I called it. I was a month off. I said October, but November is fine with me. So I was quite happy. I was quite pleased. Yeah. So that's the Bethesda one. Yep. I mean, that was their big one.
Solid. Few hiccups, but nothing even remotely bad. It was just beautiful, well done, and I'm happy for him.
All right, so on to the Microsoft one, which was this morning's, was 12:30 Eastern. It was pretty darn good.
They redeemed themselves, man. They really did.
I gotta say, I'm actually interested in buying an Xbox One.
Yep.
I mean, the only reason I bought a PS4 at the time was because everyone I knew was buying one, but now it's like I haven't really used it for a whole lot.
Oh, it's been
But
really slow.
It has
for
been.
PlayStation.
Well, I mean, all the current gen
Yeah.
consoles have been. It's just it's a pain in the butt.
That's always how it is with new consoles. It's really slow.
It is.
But this is our. Let's see what Sony pulls off. This
Yeah,
might really.
I'm excited about
You might
that.
be on your PS4 like nobody's business. After this conference, so we'll see.
Oh yeah.
We'll see what they bring.
So Halo 5 Guardians was the starter. I liked the way it looked. Okay, my one gripe was when they showed the gameplay, which the gameplay looked slick as
Yes,
hell.
it did.
But my problem is that the HUD bugged me. It had the outline of the helmet.
Yeah.
I just want to have a nice clean HUD. Don't put crap that's blocking my view.
You don't feel like it's more immersive that way,
No.
so you feel like you're actually looking through a
As
helmet.
a costumer, no, I don't want to look through a helmet while I'm playing a freaking game. If I want to do that, I'll put on my Stormtrooper helmet.
and still play the game.
The thing is that in the lore of these different things, like in Star Wars, the helmet is like supposed to be a full view HUD. Like
Yeah.
it's supposed to give you a heads up display and all that stuff, give you night vision. There's not supposed to be poor visibility.
Yeah.
It is because in reality that's the way it is, but for the Spartans you'd think it'd be the same way. You'd think that these helmets would be sized so that it fits right up against their eyes and that they can have a visual of this HUD that you wouldn't have an annoying outline of your helmet. That's the way I see it anyways.
Yeah. Okay.
So it bugged me to see that, and I think that would really grind my gears after a while of playing because you're losing visibility because of that. Like it cuts off part of your upper, cuts off part of your lower, left and right, just to show that you have a helmet on. Well, I know I have a helmet on. I'm a freaking super soldier.
Yeah.
Don't show me my helmet. I don't want to see my helmet while I'm playing. I want to be able to just shoot things and let them revel in my awesomeness. That's all I want.
Well, besides the whole helmet debacle, how do you feel about it though?
Oh, it's
overall?
good. Oh, God.
You think so?
I think it's going to be solid. I feel like 343's really taken the feedback they got from 4. It was awful.
Yeah,
And
terrible.
really improved on the things that they screwed up. And the fact that the chief is AWOL, and it's like
Per se, AWOL.
who's evil, who's good? Is
Yeah.
this new Spartan Locke a bad guy? Is he a good guy?
What are his
Master Chief-
motives? Yeah.
like what is the motive? Why did Master Chief go AWOL, and why is the Arbiter back?
Yeah,
Is
exactly.
what I'm wondering. So pretty sweet.
Well, yeah,
It's got a lot of
looked really
questions,
good.
and I think it'll be really cool. So I'm looking forward to it.
It definitely seems like they're taking a step in a better direction than what they did with
and I've seen
Halo 4.
some multiplayer beta stuff, and it looks really
I thought the
solid.
beta was really there was a lot of problems with the beta for the multiplayer.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's
I mean,
what
there
I
was
heard.
like lag, and no, I heard there was a lot of issues with the Master Chief collection.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
maybe
The
it
beta, I
wasn't.
don't think had a whole lot of issue, but I could be wrong. Let's see. Yeah, they showed a lot of
But
gameplay.
yeah, the gameplay looked really cool.
Yeah, like
And the 4-player
like,
drop in and out co-op
yeah,
too.
the
That's
drop
really awesome.
in, drop out will be slick. That'll be really handy because
yeah.
you can be in a game and then you don't have to drop out to bring someone in. They can just pop in, and if they're like, "Oh, I gotta go to dinner," and they pop out,
Yeah,
it's
like
not
nothing.
the end of the
You
world.
just keep going.
Yep. There were a lot of explosions. There was a guy that looked like Nathan Fillion.
Yeah, that was awesome. And
Yeah.
it's his voice and everything.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I was like, that's definitely Nathan
Yeah,
Fillion.
I was like, beautiful. It's already getting a plus.
But
in my book.
you could give him your squad, your AI squad
Yeah, you
orders
can
like in
order 'em
Rainbow
to do
Six,
things,
which
yeah.
was really cool. Let's see, the weapons and particle effects
yeah,
looked
the
really
weapons
nice.
look pretty sick too.
The vehicles looked really good. I mean, everything looked very Halo, and I
Yeah.
like that. That was really nice because I don't know about the Prometheans. I still feel like they're out of place.
Yeah.
I
We just don't really know too much about them. I think there could be a way that they could integrate them into that world. If I don't know exactly how they could do it, but I think they could still kind of fit in there. They just need to be fully flushed out a little better. Like
Yeah.
if we had more backstory to give us, why these are there and what makes
Right.
them who they are and why.
I just
what are
feel
their
like
motives.
I feel like the Flood are a much better enemy, and they've completely phased them out.
Flood, yeah, is like I have a lot of fond memories against the Flood.
They're-
Like that
they're a
whole
part of
final
Halo.
mission in Halo 1 with
Oh, yeah.
the Flood
That was
invading and you're
intense.
in the Warthogs going. One of
so
the best
good.
game.
I will
levels
always remember
ever,
that one.
yeah.
Oh yeah, that was so good. All right, so let's see. Oh, multiplayer has 24 players, AI controlled adversaries, and massive environments.
In Horde mode again.
Yep. And it sounds like a Halo Battlefield game almost. Because
And did you see
players,
that they had and during the campaign there was some kind of ability used?
Yeah.
You remember when he jumped and
Yeah,
then
like
that was AoE circle and he was aiming it and
which
then,
is
like punched
which
the
they
ground?
had similar stuff in Halo 3
Yeah,
and
so I'm
4,
wondering if they're bringing that thing back into it.
They showed Warzone and it looked a lot like Titanfall, didn't it?
Yeah, it did.
A ton like Titanfall.
It looked pretty good though.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, but I was like I do love Titanfall, but I don't know how impressed I am that they did this new mode that looks just like Titanfall, which is cool. I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't know. And then they showed the assault rifle. Oh, I love the assault rifle. It's my favorite gun.
God.
And then they moved on and we saw Recore. Which was pretty interesting looking. It's from the guy who made...
was just a trailer, but...
Yeah, the guy who made Metroid Prime. I was a little bummed that they didn't show any gameplay or anything. Like, it was all rendered video, but...
the concept seems like it'll be really cool.
Yeah, because they showed, like, a vast wasteland, and it looked like desolation everywhere.
That
just, like,
Sandstorm
post-apocalyptic.
2 coming in was pretty intense.
And then it's, like, this girl and her robot dog.
Yeah, and the dog has like this circle that like keeps it held together, almost like his abdomen. It seems like.
Right.
And it was like a core, like an energy core, is like bright blue, shiny.
Orb. Yeah. And then they found a non-operating body of a robot that was the same colors and like build quality of the dog, but much bigger. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden they get attacked by these red monsters because the core of the dog was blue while the bad things were red. Mm-hmm. And so they attacked, and like the girl has a gun and she's firing, and then the robo dog runs into the middle and like gives her this sad look, and she's like, no, and the dog just like is like, I must do this, and then just explodes and kills everything,
but leaves behind his blue core sitting in the sand.
Right.
Oh, and before that, when she was fighting too, she used like a grappling hook and pulled out one of the cores of the enemy and was like rubbing it like it had some kind of value. So I'm wondering if, with that whole thing, if those are some kind of like if you can rework those cores to be, blue cores, I guess, to make them partners, if you can have more people.
Yeah. Which would be pretty cool. I'm not sure.
So she takes that core, once the dog dies, and puts it into that other robot, and then that robot comes to life, and she's like, "Good boy, welcome back," or whatever. So
one of the things that irked me though is that they pitched it as a franchise, which means that they're already planning on doing more stuff with it, and it hasn't even come out yet. Mm-hmm. I don't like that. Don't pitch it as a franchise. Pitch it as a game idea. Mm-hmm. Make the game, and then if it picks up, make it into a franchise.
Yeah.
It bothers me.
I think they could still just cut it if it doesn't work out.
I know, but you're giving your fans, people who actually do like it, false hope, and that's a problem.
Yeah, it all depends though, because it could. Just blow everybody away. It's so early, and we just haven't really heard much.
I know. We haven't seen gameplay.
But they got, if you think about it from their side, they're trying to have a long-term investment. They want something that they think is going to be going on for years and years, and with a franchise. So maybe, in a way, that's letting people know that if this is good, we're going to ride it and keep giving you content rather than,
Might be. It's a good way to look at it.
Because they want it to succeed. They have to, or they lose money,
True.
So they're just, letting you know that, hey, we're keeping this as something that we're going to keep putting effort into, if it's good.
Oh, yeah. After that, Mr. Phil Spencer came out, head of Xbox.
Only one watch, though.
No watches.
None?
Yeah, I didn't see any watches this time around. He was wearing long-sleeve shirts.
He balled out this time. No watches.
I was like, how's he going to know when to eat breakfast?
He'll never know. He doesn't eat breakfast anymore.
But the big announcement was backwards compatibility with the Xbox 360 games. It's not all of them. It's probably going to be just like with the Xbox original.
Selective few.
They said hundreds of titles, though. So that's pretty promising.
Well, there's, 8 years of titles?
And they said that if you own the game on like Xbox Live, you'll be able to play it as a digital download.
Did they say that? I thought they
Yeah, they said that you'll be able to just download it and play it. And they said also if you have the retail disc, you can download it while the disc is in and play it just like a regular Xbox One game, which is pretty sweet. They said it's to add more games. It's as simple as the publisher giving the go-ahead to do it as well, which is a plus. So
that's awesome, yeah.
So we could see entire back catalogs of games being
depending
made available.
on whether they give the availability from the publisher.
Right.
Well, I think if the publishers hear from the fans and the fans are like, please,
they'll
there's
do
no
it.
reason why they wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
And plus they'll get money, I would assume.
Oh,
because if you don't own the game, and you just want to play that game over again, I'm sure you can download it for.
I'm sure they'll have the games on live or
Yeah.
whatever.
So
excuse me,
yawning, man. What's going on? This is E3, dude.
I'm just
Wake
stretching,
up.
man. I'm stretching.
Get up.
Getting over those post-con blues, dude. It makes you tired, dude. Spend all day and
You're killing me,
all night
Smalls.
doing stuff. It makes you tired. Okay, so they showed a demo of Mass Effect playing on the Xbox One, which is pretty cool.
Now I didn't get to see this. I'm really sad. So you need to tell me what it was like.
It looked just like playing the game regularly. I mean, it was no
It
different.
was Mass Effect 4?
Mass Effect 1, the original Mass Effect.
Yeah.
They were playing that on Xbox
I did
One.
see that. I thought you were talking about.
No.
It was they were talking about new Mass Effect.
No.
Okay.
We're
Yeah,
not
I
there
saw
yet.
that part.
That's
I saw
the EA
that part.
one. We're not there yet. That was pretty cool. It actually supports all the features of Xbox One. So
and you can still play on Xbox Live too.
Yeah, and you can give the voice commands and say record the last 15 seconds or whatever it does. It makes a game clip of it. You can do all that stuff. You can stream
and you can
it.
play it too. They said the 360 and the Xbox One can play together.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so you
That's
can
pretty
play with
sweet.
people from Xbox Live.
So there's
from
no reason
360s.
there's no reason games should die now.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So
I'm
you'll
sure
still
they
be able to play
will, but-
online with the with whoever's on 360. You'll just get the bonus stuff like the screenshot, video capture, blah blah
Yep.
blah.
So that'll
of the
be
Xbox
available this holiday.
Mhm.
Then they showed off the Xbox Elite controller.
Yep, looks pretty good. And
Yeah, it actually
interchangeable
it's,
parts
It's
and-
very reminiscent of like the MLG Pro controllers that people put out, but what's cool is that it like has like the interchangeable parts. Like you can customize, like you can tweak your
change out the
triggers.
analog sticks.
You can tweak your triggers to be hair triggers so that they're like an easier
Fire
press.
better,
Yeah,
yeah.
fire quicker, that sort of stuff, which is pretty cool. And it looked really
Don't
nice.
get us wrong; it wasn't like a turbo controller.
No,
like
no.
to be cheating.
Well, I
or
mean,
anything.
it's supported by Microsoft, so I'm
Yeah.
sure they wouldn't put out anything that's going to.
I just didn't want anyone to, because
Oh,
you can switch the trigger to fire faster. So I don't want people.
And
to
what else was there?
you had those the little, like, I don't know what to call them, the little buttons that you'd work with your fingers.
Yeah, like
It was,
extra buttons.
underneath.
Yep.
Underneath there was like 4 little slots that you'd plug in these little pads to.
Yep.
That you could press. I don't remember. I saw like P1, P2, and
Yeah,
I
they're
don't know
like
exactly
and you
what
can
they
like
would
tweak
represent.
you can tweak the buttons to do different stuff, and there's a full-on headphone jack on it.
Yeah, on the bottom now.
So that's
Looked
pretty cool.
nice. Yeah, it didn't seem like it was smaller or anything. Just interchangeable.
And then
Different parts.
and then after that, Fallout 4 came up again.
Yep. He showed pretty much for the most part it was the same thing. You got to see a little bit more gameplay, like different weapons and stuff, and talking to other people. But it really, for the most part, was about what they showed in their own press conference.
The bright spot. Sorry to interrupt. The bright spot was that Fallout 3 comes with Fallout 4 for Xbox One.
Yeah, only for Xbox One though.
Yeah. So that's kind of a bummer.
Frustrating.
But
yeah.
I mean, I already have Fallout 3, so I don't really care that much. Also, they said that the PC mods will be approved for use on the Xbox One.
On the Xbox One.
That'll be
yep.
interesting. Now, they're going to have to limit that in some ways because some mods can really do weird stuff. I'm sure that they're going to have a filtration process.
they're going to have to screen them, before.
Yeah,
before
I mean,
to see
because
how
what
they
if
would
somebody
work.
writes a mod specifically to modify your
Jack up,
Xbox
yeah.
One or delete your save game? I mean, like, how are you going to control that?
Yeah, there's got to be some kind of firewall to, check them out.
Yep.
So we'll see how that goes. But interesting idea still. That gives we'll give it longer life that way. So once you're done with it or whatever, you can just download some mods and play it a totally different way or however you want.
Yep. And then the head of EA came out and took the stage to talk about EA Access, which I still think is a bunch of crap.
No.
The fact that that's not available on any other platform is absolute crap.
Yeah.
It's rubbish. So, in my opinion, EA has made a really bad move by getting into bed with one company.
Yep.
I really wish
That's a lot of missed out funds, man.
it is. I mean, it's just
Like, that must
it's
be a serious freaking payout, though. That's what.
Oh, I know. They must be getting a real payout because I mean,
because it's got to be enough to where they feel like they can take that hit.
oh yeah,
You know what I mean? To where they can exclusively release them on one console and just cut out that entire other half of the market.
yeah.
It's
Well,
just
just like with
Titanfall did the same.
well,
thing
just like
too.
with EA pulling out of Steam entirely and making all their new releases Origin only, I
Yeah,
feel like is a
exactly.
mistake too because I'm sure they've lost out on a lot of sales because of that. Because there are some people that will not touch Origin just because it's EA.
Yeah, exactly.
They'll play the games if they're on sale and that sort of thing, but they will not touch a client provided by EA because they don't trust them.
Yeah, they have every right not to.
And I know some folks who take that stand, which is it's their business.
To each his own.
Yeah, but they've lost out on a sale because of that.
Exactly. Yeah.
But they were talking about Titanfall being free on EA Access, Dragon Age Inquisition being free on EA Access later on this year, which is pretty early. Then EA Access Vault is free all this week for Xbox One, Xbox Live Gold members.
Yep, to try it out if you're interested.
And they announced Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare 2. Which
looks pretty awesome.
Yeah, and we'll talk about more about that later when we get to the E3 or the EA one.
Yeah.
Looks really good. Then they had a video about Ford Motors, Forza 6 or Forza. It said Forza, I think, is the pronunciation. They should put a T in there. Yeah, I mean, I'm not much for that, but they did lower a really sweet Ford GT. Yeah, the
beautiful
new GT.
Freaking car, though, man.
It's cool.
I was really hoping they would start it up and just
it would be awesome if they just ran people over in the audience.
Then it'd be memorable.
Bodies are flying. No one would ever forget that one.
Yeah, with Henry Ford III there too. Just like, what's happening?
Yeah, I know, it'd be great. But they said it's going to be 1080p, 60 FPS, over 450 cars.
God, I didn't even know there was that many cars in the world.
Well, I mean God, I can't stop yawning. But that covers.
What is happening
dude,
to
I don't
you,
know, man. I think I'm dying.
God.
I have a tumor in my brain.
It's a tumor.
It's not a tumor. But yeah, I mean that covers classic and current, and then 24 car multiplayer. That's pretty big races.
Yeah, it's a serious race.
Yeah. So it comes out September 15th. So good for car fans.
Yeah, I hope you guys love
it. And
it.
then there was like this mysterious looking Bandai Namco thing where they're like, now only embers remain. And it looked a little like of a Lord of the Rings landscape, and then they had like hunchback turtle monks.
Dude, man, I literally knew it was Dark Souls from the very beginning, because that fire. Did you see the sword stuck in the fire?
No,
like the very first scene is like them panning like this, and there's like a fire that was sword. I was like, Dark Souls, Dark Souls.
Well,
Dark
I mean,
Souls.
it was from Software too. What else are they really known for lately?
Hey,
freaking Dark Souls. But Dark Souls 3 is coming out, which looks pretty cool. Yeah. 2016, they said. And then The Division. We have just been talking about that thing being missing,
disappeared from the planet Earth.
fell off the radar for a while, and it's finally back.
And it looks
amazing. Stellar. And they're gonna have a beta for Xbox One people, which is fine. You know, we'll at least get to see some gameplay out of it, and maybe we'll have Xboxes by then.
Maybe.
But it looks really cool. Apparently, there was a weaponized virus, and society began to fall. Apparently, now from what I'm getting from it, this may be like a post. I like just popped into the. That's why we use a pop filter and it's not working. A post.
I think it's just the volume's really high because it seems pretty loud to me in my ears.
Oh, is it really?
Yes.
Oh.
Like super loud.
No, I'm not really peeking on the thing. Anyways, but from what I gather, is it might be like set in the same universe as Ghost Recon.
You think so?
I have a feeling it might be because like. They're an elite unit. The Division is an elite unit of like soldiers that are like really really good at what they do, and it seems to be futuristic. So I don't know. I could be completely wrong, but maybe it's set in that same universe because I think Rainbow Six shares a universe with Ghost Recon. So maybe they all share a universe. I don't know. That'd be cool though. Just set in a different time.
A lot of layovers, man. Holy mackerel!
A lot of crossover.
Yeah.
But it's pretty cool. It looks really sweet.
Looks really great.
A lot of urban combat, and I love urban combat. That's why I like Rainbow Six so much.
Yeah, I really hope they have it same as what they did before. Because remember in the first trailer, like they looked down that pipe, and when stats came up for the pipe, like what's the recommended player type or whatever, and it was like had a difficulty. Do you remember that from the first trailer?
I don't.
Like the pipe was actually like an instance or something. It seemed like.
Oh, that's cool.
But that was from the very first trailer, like a while back.
So I wonder if they've changed that.
We'll come back to that later, the girl says, or something during the trailer.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if it's still going to be like that, because it seemed like a lot more action now than.
Yeah, I'm okay with that
seen.
though.
No, I love action. I'm all about. I think it looks great. I want it.
The tagline is "When society falls, we rise," which makes me think. I mean, they apparently
Batman.
Well, they don't know. They don't know that they're the Division. Like, they don't know how big the Division is, so I wonder if they're like a sleeper cell of a military unit that just doesn't, that's kind of disconnected, maybe? Something like that. It looks really intense, though.
It looks amazing. I can't wait for co-op. That's all I want in my life.
Laurent de Talk, which is one of the Ubisoft guys, was saying it's an action RPG. And they were talking about Ghost Recon.
Division?
Mm-hmm. He called it an action RPG, and they were talking about Ghost Recon. Yeah, and in December they'll get an exclusive beta.
Is that for Xbox One, though?
The beta? Yes. The beta is Xbox One. But I may own one by then. Who knows?
Yeah, but I don't want to have to think about it. I just want it.
So Rainbow Six Siege was also there.
Still looking beautiful.
They did an airplane thing with like a bomb defuse.
Yeah, the 2 bombs.
Oh, it's so sick.
I like how
they had like
did the
drones
2 sides
and crap.
too. Like, did you see like they did it?
That was cool.
The one squad winning, and then it being the other way as the defenders. Winning. That was pretty cool.
Oh yeah, it was really cool. So
hey, you got to see my sledge guy in action.
Yeah, it was cool. You're gonna be the sledge guy every time. So Firestarter 66 Games just popped in. Hey, Firestarter.
Hey, how's it going, man?
Stream hype, E3 hype.
E3.
So yeah, so when on the Xbox One, people who when Siege comes out, they will get Rainbow Six Vegas and Vegas 2 for free. And since it's backwards compatible now, they'll be able to play it.
Yep.
When the holiday rolls around. Mm-hmm. So they gave out a lot more details: 5 versus 5 battles, drones, attack or defend, barricades to set up. Looks really cool. Tons of walls exploding and breaching.
Sledgehammer
and all that
guy.
Oh yeah, really cool. And then they announced the game Gigantic, which was that like cell shaded.
Cool. It almost looks like Battleborn.
It looks so generic though, just so generic.
I wonder if it's gonna be like MOBA though.
I don't know.
It seemed like a lot of stuff.
Again, they didn't give any gameplay or anything, so I don't know. They didn't really give a whole lot. So yeah, Firestarter.
I think it seems like it might be cool that you get to be your one character and then you have like a guardian for bigger
guardian
battles
to help you out. That might be cool.
It seemed like if like each character has a different guardian.
Right.
That would be really interesting because, they were fighting the normal enemies, but then that giant, like, griffin appeared.
Yeah.
So then they had to call out their guardian. So I'm wondering if, like, each one has a different guardian and they're all different and better. So I think it's got potential.
Maybe
it
a customizable one.
I can't cut it out so quickly. I feel like it's definitely has some potential.
So Firestarter says, I was just watching the E3 thing, and he said, did you hear about Fallout 4? You know Fallout 4? Are you excited for Fallout 4? You know Fallout 4? Yeah, we were just talking about that. We went over the Bethesda press conference already. We've been watching everything like it's crack cocaine for us, man.
Yeah, I've been baselining E3 for days.
Oh, I know. This is like our dream.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the kind of thing we want to actually go to as part of this show one of these days.
Mm-hmm.
So we're hoping maybe someday. But Fallout 4 is going to be enormous.
Oh, God, stunning! Did you see the power armor?
But we really need to move on. We're
cutting.
Firestarter. Not to cut you off, but we're trying to get to the end of the EA conference before we do anything else because we have a hard stop at 8 o'clock Eastern
to get to the Sony conference.
Yeah, because the Sony conference is at 9. But we're going to have an extra long episode next week to cover
the E3
everything.
summarizing episode.
We're going to go through all of our thoughts. I mean, we've already talked about a lot of it, but we're going to do some more. So we'll get more into that here in a bit. If we have time, we'll talk about Fallout 4 some more because I am really stoked about it.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so we were talking about Gigantic, which does look interesting.
Yeah,
I
can't say it's. What makes you say that it's generic? In what way?
I don't know. It didn't show anything that really made me go, wow, that looks interesting. It was just like giant monsters, and it's like, woo.
Oh,
yay,
man, come
more
on.
giant
You got to
monsters.
think deeper into it, man.
They didn't show anything to get me to think about it deeper. They're like, oh, a guardian. You
they
have
didn't
a guardian.
They didn't show anybody things about Fallout. And did you see how many ideas
showed
they came out?
gameplay from Fallout.
Before it was announced, and
I
people
know.
had theories and everything.
Yeah, but they're not showing crap
I'm saying
for this
come
Gigantic
up with theories,
thing.
man. Come on, don't cut it out and say it's too generic. That's a cop out, man. It's a cop out.
Fair enough. Making me think about things.
And it's got potential. It definitely does.
Yes, it has potential. It's very colorful. I like colorful
you
games.
You get beasts, man, that you can summon that are huge. Come on.
Fair enough.
Freaking sweet.
Fair enough. All right, I'll look more into it and we'll see.
God.
I don't know if I'll play it.
Yeah, but we don't know enough about it yet. I'm just saying.
Fair enough.
You ready to cut it down?
Okay, so after that, they went through all the
Goat
indie games.
Simulator 7.
After that, they went through all of that. Speaking of Goat Simulator, they talked about Goat Sim, Ark Survival Evolved, Below.
That seems really awesome. Have you seen the trailers for that? Ark Survival Evolved? looks
riding
really,
around on dinosaurs,
pterodactyls
Heck
and crap.
yeah.
Hell yeah, dude!
It's been out for a little bit, but then they showed off Tacoma, which looked a
kind
little
of weird.
It was weird. It looked a little like Myst. Do you remember Myst?
Yeah.
It looked a little like a Myst game,
was PC
like
only, right?
Yeah, like an exploration game, like where you just went around and explored the landscape and uncovered the story. It looks a little like it might be like that.
And Tacoma's actually like a space station or something, right?
Yeah, it is called the Lunar Transfer Station Tacoma.
Yeah, so
have that written
you're
down,
like
so.
exploring
Yes.
what happened, I guess.
So it
to
looked
this,
like that, but
to this abandoned space station.
As with like Gigantic, they didn't show enough to really get me like stoked about it, and that's my big problem. Is like these press conferences should get you like excited about the game, and like they're just showing like a rendered trailer. It's like I can't get excited over a rendered trailer because every time that you do, it turns out to be something completely different than what they've showed you in the trailer.
I have to somewhat disagree, just because I feel like I get more hyped on a trailer than I do a gameplay, because then I feel like in a trailer your mind can wander a little more, and you can start to get...
Yeah, but then they don't have any of the stuff that you want in there, and then it sucks.
You get to at least,
why would you want to get your hopes up?
You get to at least know that this is actually a thing. You know what I mean? This is in the works rather than,
Yeah, but it
just
being in the
fully
works
fleshed out.
doesn't get... I'm excited that it's in the works, but I'm not hyped about it. I'm not going to get hyped about it until I can see that they have gameplay and it matches up to what they've promised.
Yeah, well, they haven't promised anything.
But with a trailer, it is a promise.
They're letting you know that it's even anything. They're not
Then
telling
don't
you
do
this.
it.
The game is going to be
Announce
exactly
the game,
this.
Announce the game and don't show a trailer.
Oh my god!
Because pre-renders almost are
They
always
just
wrong.
announce it. Listen to the guy that we talked about earlier.
Do I need to
The
bring
way
up Peter Molyneux? Peter Molyneux has
He
promised
is a
things that have
genius,
never been... He's a genius, but everything he promises is always scaled back to almost nothing of what he originally said.
You can't compare everything to what Peter Molyneux says.
That's what trailers are, man. That's what trailers are, is they're false promises. More often than not.
What are you... They're false promises. Get out of here. Get out of here. There's a bunch of trailers that have stayed pretty true to what the games are going to be like.
And there are a bunch that haven't even gotten remotely close.
Well, you can't assume everything's going to be perfect.
My point is that I can't get super excited over a trailer anymore because there are so many that are accurate, but there are so many that aren't. You got to find that middle ground. Otherwise, I would be like, all trailers are crap and they're all lies. Or I'd be like, oh, this is the best game ever every time a game comes out.
Like that guy we saw in the conference was just announcing the game alone and not telling, and just having the person, our game's called blah, 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 and I'm going to tell you a little about it, but we're not going to show you anything. That way that guy described that game made us hate the game, and it wasn't even there.
So why even announce it then?
Because they want to get people excited.
Let me finish. What about Fallout 4? They waited until 5 months out to show us everything. That's how you do it. You have the game at an almost ready state. You give us a trailer. You say this is going to come out. Then you give us a full view of everything within just a short amount of time. And then you know it's coming out in just a few months. Otherwise, you've got 2 years where they can push back deadlines, screw up everything. The engine sucks. The graphics suck. A new console comes out in the middle of development. The whole thing's ruined.
I don't think they should necessarily, I think it's a good idea to, announce it when there's not much time left. But then I like to know that things are even happening. Look at No Man's Sky. That was announced way off last year.
I'm not saying that's wrong. I'm saying that I just can't get super hyped about it until I start seeing gameplay.
Okay, I can understand what you're saying, but I can't
because I can get excited about a game coming out. I was excited about Battlefront when they showed the first trailer before there was even any hint that there was going to be gameplay.
Well, see, there you go.
But I wasn't hyped. I wasn't like I'm buying this instantly. No, I was like I'm going to wait and see how it looks, and I'm going to give it a fair shot. And remember, there were all those people that were writing it off that were like, "No, this is going to be stupid and crap, or we're not going to do it. This is dumb." And it's like, well, you can play the middle. Be excited, be optimistic, but don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Okay, I can understand that. That's a better way of putting it than how you were saying it before.
I apologize if I wasn't getting across, but now I need to
a little more understandable.
I think you were getting ready to throw something at me. I wanted to make sure they clarified.
It was like you were killing me, man. But as long as you're not writing it off.
Yeah.
I can understand not being like, oh my god, this is going to be the best thing in the entire world. But I still think you should get excited from a trailer because it lets you know that thing is real. There's
yeah.
something that's going to have this sort of a premise
Get
happening.
excited. Yeah, be ready for
that's
it.
Gonna be,
know it's on the radar.
Exactly. That's why I get excited about trying. I'm not saying that I personally get like, I'm going to buy it the second I hear about it. But I mean, it is exciting.
Yeah.
Whether I see gameplay or not, I know that this idea of a game is still there, and that's something's going to be happening with that, which excites me.
Right.
So
Firestarter said a couple things. First, he said pre-rendered trailers showing nothing at all, and even some gameplay. Look at gameplay. Look at Watch Dogs. Look at Watch Dogs. Watch Dogs is a really good example of that. The gameplay was fairly close to the trailer, but the graphics were almost entirely different. I mean, they cut out a ton of the like shaders and fog effects and particle effects. So I mean,
I know going into a trailer, it's not going to look exactly like that. It's never going to be that fidelity.
Yeah,
it's never going to be.
That's a lesson learned.
Just as long as the gameplay stays to the style of what you're seeing in the trailer.
Yeah.
That you can get a pretty decent idea. Not saying it's going to be exactly what it is, but you can get a pretty good idea from a pre-rendered trailer what the game's going to be like.
Right, I agree.
Which you can get excited
But
for.
unfortunately, like Gigantic didn't show what the game is going to be like. It just showed a bunch of stuff, like concepts. It didn't show any.
Well, like in the
we don't even know if that's going to be a third person, a top down, a first person, a strategy game, or a MOBA, or we don't know anything about it. That's
just still
where the
a lot of
problem
questions.
is.
It's just
Yeah.
Don't write something off because they didn't show you
I'm not.
enough.
I would never write something off because of that. However, I'm not going to get hyped because they showed me a 30-second trailer that literally showed me nothing at all.
Yeah,
it's that moderation line.
Don't get hyped, but I mean, you can still be excited that kind of a thing is happening.
So Firestarter also said if you get people hyped way before it comes out, people forget about it and it doesn't sell as well when the people are like actually like hyped. Like look at Fallout 4, that is going to sell hugely. But look at a game like I don't know.
Well, I think on the other hand too, it can just drop off the radar regardless.
Like the Division,
whether you speak about it or not. Look how long it's been since the last Fallout. And, everyone's wanted it, but it's been gone.
But there hasn't been a hype train built up over it. That's the thing.
But I don't think you should necessarily not show it and rather just hide it.
If they had 2 years out, had started, doing this sort of thing where they were giving, like, advertisements and stuff and really building on the hype train, it would have been a detriment.
I can't necessarily agree with that because I think if it'll reignite the emotions people had about that franchise. Like, if they would have earlier let you know that Fallout 4 was coming out, you would still be thinking about that. Like, man, when's it going to come out? It would keep you still thinking about it. Because if you're passionate about it, I don't think it's going to disappear from your head because they haven't talked about it in a while.
True.
Because look at the Division. That dropped off the radar, not nearly as long as Fallout, but I mean, we were still talking about what happened to that. I want to know more about that.
That's
the passion
true.
was still there regardless of how long it's been since we've seen something. I think it makes the heart grow fonder because...
Well, with the absence,
you're grappling for any kind of details on what's left,
Yeah.
Because it came, that it's being worked on. They told you it's there.
Let me cut you off. Let's save this discussion for another episode because the hype train discussion is a big one that we could probably devote most of an episode to. Okay. But we need to get through this stuff because we've only got 30 minutes, less than 30 minutes, 28 minutes. So let's keep moving. All right. Not to cut you off. It's a totally good discussion, absolutely. But I really that's something we can really break into. Yeah, definitely. All right, so the game Ashen was announced from
that seems really cool
from
too.
Aurora 44.
Another indie title that I think looks really cool. With you have to decide who to trust and who not to trust.
Which that looks like a multiplayer. Yeah, like a little like people. That one. What is that one game? Journey.
Yeah,
like a mix between Journey and like you don't know who it is.
It's like Journey and like DayZ almost.
Yeah, a little bit.
How you
like a survival type thing. Yeah. They could kill you or they could be your friend.
You guys could decide to work together and you just really don't know.
That looked pretty cool.
That seems like an interesting. And it was almost like old school medievally type.
Yeah,
like with torches and spears and stuff.
Yep.
Seemed really cool.
Then they had Tiger and Squid come out and they talked about Beyond Eyes. Dude, that game looked beautiful.
Eyes. It looked. I don't know. It did look pretty, but I don't know how much I want to actually play it.
It's supposed to be how a blind person
sees through
the
the world.
world.
They have to like imagine it. But it seemed really
I thought it looked gorgeous.
No,
I'm gonna
it
play
looked beautiful.
I'm gonna
I just
play
don't
the
know if I would
crap out
play
of
it.
that. I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna get it.
Go.
So
I defend
I will let
your
you.
right
I
to
will
play
let
it.
you know how it is, because that was enough gameplay to really sell
And there's
me
really
on the
nothing there,
concept.
though.
It seems very simple, but I bet you. I mean, look at Flower. That's a simple concept.
Yeah.
Look at Journey. That's a simple concept, but it's beautiful and it's immersive and it's fulfilling, and that's not a very frequent thing. But the music combined with the concept just looked, and the visual part of it looked beautiful, and that was like
very like watercolory.
it looked like pastels,
Yeah.
like it was all painted, but it looked like it was like this fantasy world rather. And when she went to go touch something, it turned into like a pole with the crosswalk button on it and things like that. It was really cool. So I think that's a really interesting concept. Now, granted, I could be wrong and it could be the worst game ever, but I feel like the concept alone was enough to really get me excited. I'm not not hyped. I'm not going to be like, everyone buy this now.
Yeah.
But I'm probably going to pick it up and give it a throw.
It kind of reminded me
playthrough.
of The Unfinished Swan. Did you see that game?
No.
This game where you go into this world, and the only way to get around the world is you threw balls of ink, and it would splat onto objects, and then you would slowly start be able to see your environment through these ink splots.
Oh, that's cool.
So you'd like go around and throw ink to figure out your area, and that's kind of like what it seems like. Because it seemed like you would touch stuff, and then like a radius would come out of things you could see.
Right.
So it kind of
That's
reminded
pretty
me
cool.
of that.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so the game Cuphead. Did you see that? It looks like a 1930s
I
cartoon.
love that,
That
dude.
looks so
I love
cool.
it so much.
That looked
I've
really
been had my
interesting.
eye on that game for a while.
Have you?
Yes.
I didn't hear anything about it until now. It looks like a Popeye cartoon.
That's
It was
what I
freaking
love about it. It
sweet.
looks like an old school Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, it was really cool.
He's got the pants and
the
everything.
big eyes and the way
Yeah.
they blink and everything
It just
was really
looked.
cool.
I love that art style. It seemed really awesome, and the gameplay seems solid too. Like it's
they said
very
that they're
platformy. And
They said
just-
that they took a 1930s cartoon and fused it with a very solid
Precise,
8-bit
yeah.
game, a precise 8-bit game. Yeah,
and it looks super fun too. Like your gun is your finger like this, and you're like shooting out. It
That's
looks
pretty
so
funny.
much, and the art style just gives it such a cool motif.
I'm gonna give that one a try
Yeah.
too. It looks very unique.
It
very
seems really
interesting.
fun too. Really, really fun.
The tagline was "Don't deal with the devil."
Yep. It
So
was
it's
really
pretty
cool. And I love how they were like filling their cup heads with whiskey or whatever in the Triple X jug, and they're just like, woo! Getting ready to go. And it seemed like it might be actually like it was 2-player, I believe.
Yeah, it looked like
there
it
was
might
like
be.
a blue cup head with like a little bit of a
Yep.
straw, and then the regular one with the full bit.
Yep.
And I'm pretty sure I saw them at the same time on screen at some point, which
Sweet.
would be really fun.
That would be a fun co-op game to play. Yeah.
And I like that it's like a Mickey Mouse cartoon, but more mature, which I think is really awesome.
Yeah,
It seems
yeah.
really funny.
And then they announced the Xbox game preview, which
it's
is
like a demo.
which you
try
can
out games.
early
or-
access,
Yeah.
but for Xbox, and you can actually get free trials of all the early access games to make an educated choice on whether you want to invest in it or not.
Yeah.
Which is something I think Steam needs. I think it's a really good idea. I thought that was a really great one. So I guess the Long Dark and Elite Dangerous are available on there, and Elite Dangerous is actually a full release on
Daisies
PC.
too.
But it's not out yet on there.
Yeah, but I mean, that's coming.
Daisy's not a full release either. That's still early access on PC.
Yeah, you can have the early access on Xbox.
You will be able to, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That'll be cool. And then the guy who made Daisy, who should be finishing his game, announced that they're working on another game called Ion, and I was a little peeved that because that game Daisy needs to be finished.
Yeah.
Freaking finish your game. He's been delaying and it's taken forever. And dude, finish the game.
Yeah.
Finish it, man. So a little upsetting in that regard. But there's a new game they announced called Ion. It looked like they watched. What was that space movie that came out a couple years ago?
Interstellar?
Called Interstellar. Yeah, it looked like they watched Interstellar and then got carried away on making a game about it. All right. Then Crystal Dynamics came up, showed Rise of the Tomb Raider. Looked really sweet.
Gorgeous.
Looks amazing.
Yep.
I mean, we could talk about that forever, but look up the trailer for that. It looks really slick.
Check it out. Really good.
There was like an avalanche and ice climbing and falling off a cliff.
Yeah.
It was nuts. It was so cool though, and just oh god, Laura and the guy she was with, the black guy that she was with, their just facial
Seems
build
so
is
spot
so
on,
realistic and beautiful. They did such a
Like,
good
you can
job.
really see the emotions in their face. It's really nice.
And then they showed Perfect Dark and Banjo-Kazooie and Conkers and Battletoads.
Banjo-Kazooie.
And I was like, oh no, they're going to
So
announce
good
another
games.
Perfect Dark game.
Oh, yeah.
No more Perfect Dark. Never
Dude, if they
again.
would have announced another Conker's Bad Fur Day, I probably would have soiled my trousers. Because that is like one of the most cult classic games ever.
Yeah.
So amazing. So freaking amazing.
All right, so let's see here. Let's see.
What was next?
Couple of people in the chat. Actually, I'm moving this closer so I can read. I can't read anything.
There you go, man. Get in there.
I'm blind.
Get deep on it.
All right.
You got 5 on it.
Somebody says the guy on the right is cute.
Is that me?
That's you.
Hey, thanks.
And then let's see. Hale Manziel says that we're racists. Cool story.
Thank you, Hales, whatever your name was. Thanks for watching this racist channel.
Yep. Yeah. Just because he said that because he's black, he can't have emotions. I don't think we.
No,
ever said that.
I said you can't. They had good emotions.
Yeah.
I believe that's what I said. Actually,
Okay.
pass.
Racist.
Next.
Fail. You get an F. F for
F
effort.
for terrible.
All right. So Rare showed up, which was awesome. I got the chills because they were like, you never forget your first game. I was like,
Oh, that was a good
never
little like
forget
intro
your
thing that
first.
they had. That was pretty awesome.
So 30 Rare games for $30 on the Xbox One.
I
oh
want that
my
collection
god,
so bad.
I'm so stoked. And then they announced their new game, which and by the way, that game has 10,000 gamer score.
Oh yeah, the collection bundle thing.
10,000
Freaking,
gamers. You know how many achievements
so
there are?
many good games
You can get
in there,
achievements
though,
for
man.
playing your favorite classic Rare games.
I know.
That's amazing to me.
So many good ones, dude. Battletoads was in there too.
And then they announced Sea of Thieves, which is that an MMO? It looked like an MMO.
That game.
Dude, don't even start
We
me
were
on pirates.
talking about pirate games, man, and this was just like the pirate game I think we were looking for. And the trailer was so good because like they had that faint like piratey theme in the back, and it would just like as he was going, it would slowly get more intense as he would find anything, and then
Yep.
it like full bore. And I was like, oh, is this it? Is this gonna be what I think it is?
Oh, dude,
And just like all the people come on, your whole pirate squad is like going up, and people are running around, working the cannons in the battles. Did you see the battles? Like when they were going up to the other ship, and you see the other
Oh my
players
God,
on their
dude.
ship like scrambling to
Oh,
get
I
to
know.
different spots. I was like,
It's so good. You know
I was
how I
gushing.
love them
Yeah.
pirates. So
I was gushing so
even
bad
if it's
on that.
not an MMO, I mean,
The fact that you can have friends
Oh,
on
I
a
know.
pirate ship with you controlling the ship is awesome.
You want to make a pirate crew?
Oh my God, we have to.
Insert pirate theater.
Malarkey.
You guys in? You guys in?
You're
Insert
all part of the crew. Get on it.
Yo ho, an insert coin theater's life
We
for
go.
us. What?
I'm in. It was just, oh, good. I loved it. I love pirates. I just want to be a pirate.
Oh yeah, it was so good. I'm so excited about that. And then
Teamwork, too. Teamwork.
oh, teamwork will
I
be
love the
really
fact you
good.
have to teamwork to make the ship work. It's just awesome.
And then Fable Legends, they showed that. That looks pretty sweet.
God.
Playing the bad guys of Fable to stop,
Yeah.
like stop the incursion of the heroes
Yeah,
because
exactly.
nobody
They're
gives
like-
a crap about heroes. Die.
Oh, they were like invading their territory or whatever. That's what they said or whatever.
Yeah.
Seemed pretty cool. Like that one like witch lady seemed like their commander.
Yeah.
Because I remember they were talking about gameplay, and I think for like the enemy side, it's like top down, and you like place enemies and stuff while the heroes are going through your little maze
Oh yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah, it looks really cool.
But seems pretty interesting. They had
Yeah.
some cool enemies.
Oh, for sure. It should be pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be free to play. It's gonna be on PC and Xbox One. So
At least we'll
and-
be able to play it. Thank
and
God.
Xbox One and PC can play together, which is gonna be pretty sweet.
Yeah. I'll get it on PC because I definitely want to play it. I really liked all the Fable games.
Yeah, me too. And then I guess
And we almost annihilated that one Fable game, but then they're
Yep.
like, oh, you have to play with developers to get these dolls.
Oh,
And no
yeah,
one's going
that
to get to
was
play
so
with the
bad.
developers, like 2 people. It's like ridiculous.
And then they had the Windows. They had they were saying that they partnered with Steam VR
Mm-hmm.
for making Oculus Rift VR really good. So apparently you can stream
And you get an Xbox controller too, right? With Oculus
if you
Rift.
buy an
Now it's
Oculus Rift,
bundled.
yeah. But you can stream Xbone through your Windows 10 into your Oculus Rift, which is pretty cool. And then they showed HoloLens, which was
seemed pretty cool. If it
What?
works,
yes,
it seems really
the
cool.
crazy,
and if the
like,
price point is decent,
yeah, the crazy like tabletop
3D
insanity.
freaking, yeah,
So,
it's really cool.
Yeah, so chat's kind of blowing up a little bit. Hold on. Hale Menzel says 10,000 gamer score. That's pretty wild. Yeah, for sure,
man.
That's a lot of gamer score.
A lot of great games too.
And he says he's in R. So hey, we got another
yes,
pirate for
one
our
part
crew.
of our deadly pirate army.
We're just gonna have an armada of ships and sink everything that gets in the way.
In Swordcorn Theater's gonna pwn you. Armada.
All right. So after HoloLens, which was amazing, I can't even put
So
into words.
that's where I stopped. So I
can't
couldn't
put
have
into
time
words.
to see what's after this.
Gears of War Ultimate Edition, which is Gears of War 1 remastered, 1080p, 60 frames a second with exclusive content for the Xbox One. Excellent.
Gears of War, the first one was probably the best one.
Yeah, it was really
loved
good.
it. So, and it was co-op too, which you don't get to see much of.
Right.
Which is awesome.
Well, they went through a little bit of gameplay of it, of the new Gears of War 4, which looks
How did
pretty
that
cool.
look?
It looked really good. Visually,
Yeah.
it was pretty, and it was
Do you
like...
still play as the main Marcus Phoenix?
No, you're a different guy. There's a different guy.
Is it even like one of the people?
It's not
from
even
the-
Gears of War. It's called Gears 4. They didn't even put Gears of War in the name. They just put Gears 4. So...
But it's still Gears of War, though?
Yeah, it's a Gears of War game. I mean, the cover system, what is the gun with the chainsaw?
Lancer.
The Lancer. He had a Lancer.
Oh,
I mean, they
okay.
had all
so
that
it was
stuff.
definitely the universe of
Yeah, and it was
Okay.
isn't emulsion the crap that is
like yellow.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
poked a pot of emulsion and exploded on him or something.
Oh, okay.
Is
Yeah,
it supposed to kill you or?
It is like poisonous or like
No.
radioactive
No, it
or
didn't-
something's wrong with it.
It didn't kill him. The guy who poked it. So
Maybe that means something.
I
need
know,
to
I
see
wonder.
it. So I wonder if
It was an
maybe
interesting
they've started
trailer.
to grow an immunity to emulsion. Maybe.
Oh, yeah.
It'd be interesting. I don't know. I've liked the Gears of War games.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder what Cliff Bleszinski's doing now, because I know he started like his own game and he's working on his own project.
I'm not
But
sure
it's
what
like,
Cliffy
I
B is
haven't-
up to.
I remember a while back he released like one screenshot of like a place. It didn't show
Right.
you like any gameplay or anything, and then that's it. I don't know anything else about it. So I'm wondering if he's gonna,
Maybe we should do a Where Are They Now episode one of these days where we like figure out where everybody's
where things
located.
dropped off. Yeah.
Yeah, and kind of like where the most
Yeah,
famous developers
plus
are.
Black Tusk, like I was saying last episode, is no longer Black Tusk anymore. The Gears of War guys. Now it's what did I say? What the Coalition? I think it's called.
Yeah, I can't remember. I don't think that's the name though.
No, it's not the Coalition or the Collective. I
The
think it might be-
Collective. Yeah, I think it's the Collective.
They have a pretty cool. Did they show you that in the trailer? That it's the Collective now. Their symbol's pretty cool. It's like
Yeah.
all the C's and it spins like a chainsaw.
Yeah,
blade.
yeah, it's pretty
It's
cool.
a pretty cool design.
All right, and then okay, so that was the end of the Microsoft conference. We've got a few more minutes before we need to wrap this up. Let me read these real fast. So Hale Menzel said he copped that beta today, and he's gonna play the crap out of it. I'm not
Which
sure
beta is
which
that?
beta, but
What was the game you were talking about before?
I don't know. We were talking about Pirates, but Sea of Thieves, but that's
Oh,
not gonna
no,
be
I
a
don't
beta
think that.
yet.
Yeah.
I'm probably losing my
Well,
mind.
whatever beta you got, man, nice.
But
get on
yeah,
it.
cool, man. Yeah, get on that.
Sweet.
Tear it up. Let us know how it is. And then Hossie T, suspicious, says that we both look like Peter Griffin.
Awesome. I don't know how you look like Peter Griffin. I can see how I look like Peter Griffin. You do a pretty good Peter Griffin, though. I'll give you that. I can't do it. That's so
Anyways,
freaking funny.
Okay. Sorry. All right. So now we got to talk EA real fast. All right. So we didn't get to see sport. It was mostly sports. Pele, NHL, FIFA, Pele, NHL, FIFA, NFL.
Madden 70.
Hale Menzel says he's got that Gears of War beta.
Oh, no, what did that come with?
I don't know, but I
Oh,
hope it's
think
good,
I-
man. I hope
nice.
you enjoy
When
it.
does that start?
Have fun.
Oh, wow.
He said
Nice,
he
man.
said he got it today, so I guess
Sweet, dude. I hope
if
it's
it's
good.
out today. I hope it's really good,
Yeah.
man. I hope you enjoy it. Let us know how it is.
Mhm.
But yeah,
Please.
it was mostly sports. They announced a Star Wars collect and battle game for mobile.
Yeah.
What other Star Wars game did they do? Was the Old Republic expansion. The big ones that come out of it were were really Garden Warfare 2 and Mirror's Edge.
Oh, Catalyst!
Catalyst.
Oh my God, I've been waiting for this baby for a long freaking time, man.
Oh, and Hail Manzel, thanks for following, man. Appreciate
you, man.
it a lot, really do. But
Mirror's Edge
Catalyst.
I've been waiting for a Mirror's Edge game for so long. I was like, from when I first played it, I was like, this needs to be a sequel. I need to see more of this. And it's finally coming, and it looks so beautiful.
I'm pretty jazzed,
so
too,
freaking
man.
beautiful,
it's gonna be
man.
Good. It's gonna be good.
I'm gonna ride that hype train. And we got to see that was good gameplay, right?
It looked like it would be, yeah. I mean,
with the
it
combat,
was,
and
with the
kick
combat,
the guy
and
into the freaking window. That was freaking
and
awesome.
the flow, following the flow.
Yeah, God, super good. Oh, and we found out this is an origin story too.
Yeah, it's Face Origin.
Yeah, so that'll be interesting to see how much further away from the first game it was.
I'm pretty stoked about that. So I know that was a real condensed version, but we do need to wrap it up before we head out. So as we said at the beginning of the stream, we apologize that we don't have much time to hang out and talk.
We got another conference to see.
But we really got to see the Sony conference. We're going to do a full 2-hour episode next Monday at 6:30, maybe 6. We'll make sure we get that across on our Facebook and Twitter.
Probably about 2 hours, yeah.
Yeah, we're going to do a full 2 hours to kind of go through the rest of the conferences and kind of give our impressions
Summarize
and thoughts.
of how E3 was this year.
Yeah, and you know, kind of give our thoughts as to what we're most excited about. So
we got to see gameplay though of Plants vs Zombie 2. Seems pretty cool too. It's Plants vs Zombies 2, right? Yeah.
Garden Warfare 2.
Yeah,
it's going to be real good.
It seems like the tides are turned too, because they in the previous Horde mode it was the plants and you'd fight on waves of zombies, but now it's your zombies fighting on wave of plants,
right?
Which seems really cool too. And the little guy called down a mech, which was awesome.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
You got to see like a boss character for the plant side. That was really pretty cool.
Sweet.
Like
so,
a tree with a Gatling gun.
Okay, so pretty much just we're really excited about the big ones: Fallout 4, Star Wars Battlefront, which we saw some gameplay of in the EA conference, Garden Warfare 2, Mirror's Edge. On the Xbox conference, we were looking forward to Gears of War, Ashen, Halo 5. There's some good ones coming out on that too. We'll go through more next Monday.
Yeah, we'll work on an actual list.
Yeah, and we'll kind of go through our most exciting moments. And I mean, there's going to be a lot coming out. It's day 0, so there's going to be a lot coming out.
And we'll let you know who we think won E3 this year.
Yeah, we gotta do that. We gotta give. Right now, though, I'm saying it's Bethesda.
On top.
Yeah, I mean, even though they had a couple of weak points, I don't know, man. Microsoft gave
there
them
wasn't
any
money,
sports. There wasn't sports, yeah. Okay, so that kind of wraps it up for us this episode. Thank you so much for hanging out and listening. We apologize again that we're kind of cutting off a little early. We don't like to, but this is E3 week. This is
the biggest week there is.
This is big for us. I mean, even though we're not technically there, we want to be there, and hopefully we'll get there one of these days. We're putting a lot of emphasis on this, and we're going to do the same thing for the biggest game shows that we can, TGS, if we get the ability, PAX, that sort of thing. So
I'm trying to keep into the industry for you guys, give you whatever content.
So if you had fun, hit that little follow button here on Twitch.
Please, we'd appreciate
That'll alert you next time we're live. We also play games during the week. I've been playing Fallout New Vegas in honor of Fallout 4's impending launch. I've been playing Far Cry 3 to get through it. George occasionally plays Witcher 3. We've been having fun with them, so hit that little follow button. And,
check it out.
And it'll notify you whenever we are live.
All the fun things we do.
Yeah, feel free to hit us up on Twitter, Facebook. Go to insertcointheater.com. All the links are right at the top. You can follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook. You can send us emails through the site.
Hug us virtually.
Beat us up virtually.
Whichever you're into,
we
don't
are not
mind.
afraid.
We'll take whatever we can get.
What else is there? We're on iTunes, Stitcher, YouTube. Check us out. If you missed the whole episode, you can catch up by watching the rest of it on YouTube. Excuse me. And we can we'll have it live during the week. This episode. And thank you so much for hanging out.
Thanks again.
And
we appreciate it.
We'll see you guys next week with a much more rounded out episode.
E3 extravaganza.
The E3 hype train continues.
Choo choo.
Choo choo. We'll see you later.
Yep. Have a good one, guys.
Sayonara. Try not to kill myself here.
He's gonna try. We can only hope.
Later.